What is up, friend? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a flip of my completed Stalogy planner, so if that's something you like to see, then just keep watching. Alright, so I completed a journal. That's the first time I think I could ever say that. I've never finished a bullet journal, and this is the first time I have. I really found my favorite journal. It's an A5 Stalogy with the grid, and I don't know, something about it just clicked, and I'm actually going to be going over that in another video, whether it's before this one or after this one, going over what I like about the Stalogy and how it compares in my like with other planners that I've used that are similar, and my updated planning system. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I think the first time I ever started a Stalogy was like over 5 years ago, and I think I got the A6 size and it just didn't work out and I didn't stick with it. I found my groove with the A5 size. It can be intimidating, but I'm going to show you how I use it and how it's honestly prompted me to kind of experiment and find what works and give me the space needed to kind of have an all-in-one planning system. So I decorated the front how I wanted to. I had some cardstock paper and some stickers, and I added some things, you know, over the months. I have some sticky pockets here in the front that I keep like little calendars in. I just like checking those off. I did tape in a sterling ink vellum, printed out a freebie from My Minimal Planner for a yearly overview, pasted that in, and then created a future log. I did a horizontal and I just split it in half. It was pretty cramped, but it worked. I did the whole year. So this was my future planning. And you'll see how that changes in my new Stalogy. So yeah, I was checking it off since April and finished this up in August. And then I created, no, I did not create this. This is Lucy Plans Life. Printed it on vellum, taped it in. I did do an index, but I didn't finish it out. The last thing I indexed was June, so I put 2 pages for an index, and I don't know why. I don't know why I thought I would need that many pages. So after the future log and the index, I went straight into my month. I did start this in March, stuck with it for a week. I was like using my Moleskine daily, the Stalogy, and my personal rings, I think, and I kind of got overwhelmed, and I just kind of let my Stalogy fall by the wayside as I was figuring out my system. But I love this. I made this on Canva, printed it out on sticker paper, stuck it in to have a traditional calendar, and then did a bullet journal monthly calendar on the right, and I liked how that worked out. The way I used this was just kind of like a tracker. First of all, I just like seeing the traditional calendar. Second, a tracker for whatever I want. Like, say I want to track when my Amazon subscribe and save items are coming, I'll write that here versus here where this is like appointments, because these boxes are small. Then I rolled right into my weekly. I stuck with a horizontal layout the entire book, with my dailies following the week, and that was one thing that I found really worked for me versus having all of my weeks together for the whole year and then all my dailies, like in the Hobonichi Cousin. I really liked this. So horizontal, and then I just wrote Monday, did my to-do list, did some journaling, put down some deco when I wanted to, and basically stuck with that. I started like, when I first started out, I did my daily and then did a shopping list, and I didn't like how that broke up my daily pages. So the way that I did it going forward was kept kind of like random lists towards the back, or had it in a separate notebook, like random things that don't really need to be in here, like a shopping list, and just set up all of my dailies at the beginning of the week, so I dedicated 1 page per day. So naturally it kind of started off with appointments up the top, to-do list, and then journaling with my extra space. And then I would typically set up some deco at the beginning of the week, so I didn't really have to think about it. And then if I wanted to throw more stickers down towards the end of the week, I did that. Weekly to do for my week. So I didn't think about it beforehand, but having a page for my weekly to-dos and then a space for dinners, this was very helpful. It just ended up being after my dailies. So then April, again, I jumped in here, set it up, and used my Moleskine daily. So I was updating it for the entire month of April, but as far as weekly and daily planning, there's only a week in here because I was in my Moleskine daily. So again, with the to-dos, all the events up top and journaling on the bottom. And I really just loved that layout. And then you can see right here, I kind of just put this down and went to another planner. And then May rolled around and I fully committed to one planner. So put down my weeks, put down my Moleskine, put down my rings, committed to this for May, my birthday month, and it worked out really, really well. So the way I do each month is I have my calendar, my bullet journal monthly, and that's where I reference for appointments and whatnot, birthdays, and then I have a highlights page, whether it's memories, gratitude, one line a day highlights, whatever it may be. And I just have this here for deco, and I make those on Canva. And then I was doing trackers, orders, spending, income, the last time my tracker, mood tracker, sleep tracker. I fully committed to like all the trackers for a few months there. Health tracker, YouTube log, Instagram, weight, and then went into my weekly. Horizontal again with the weekly to do. So you'll see a theme emerging, and occasionally I'll have like, I don't know, junk journal pages. And it does get bulky if you continue to put washi tape down there, but I didn't mind too much. Did do a little junk journaling here. Fitness tracker that I didn't end up following. And I just love the colors. I'm completely in my pink era. And I changed my pen when I wanted to. Highlighter. I kept it pretty simple. All the deco and stuff I either laid down ahead of time before the week started. You know, like I don't spend a whole lot of time decorating. If it looks super decorated, it's probably because I went in after the fact when I had nothing to do and just stuck some more things down. And then I started adding a journaling page after my dailies, and I really like that for my long form journaling. One thing about the Stalogy, and I'll go over this in my planning system, is it really prompts me to journal because there is so much extra space, and it's the only way I've been able to be consistent with journaling. I've always had a separate journal for my journaling. That's a lot of journals. I've always had a separate book for my journaling. Never been able to stick with it, never been able to finish a journal, and this has really just been enough space for me. Especially adding in one page per week for that long form journaling has been super helpful. So like on the daily, I'll just kind of summarize the day, whatever I want to write about, and then on the long form journaling page, just kind of my thoughts, if I need to get something off my chest, if something's weighing heavy on me, this is perfect. And I won't fill this in all at once. It's just like on one day I'll do a little bit, and then next day I'll do a little bit more, and blah blah blah. So you'll see that some days they're fully filled out because there's a lot on my mind, and other weeks where it's not as filled out. So June, and again, create this on Canva, add in whatever stickers I want, and I kind of condensed my trackers here instead of having one, like I combined 4 trackers on one page here. So this was helpful. I loved this kind of mood tracker I found on that inspiration on Pinterest. Workout tracker I added in, and then what I eat in a day. But then I started just tracking that on my daily pages. One thing I changed was adding a few trackers here on my weekly to-do page. And again, with the journaling, like, you know, if I don't fill in that whole page, I'm fine with that. Started doing a quote up top when I was really committing to my health and fitness journey. And then literally this has been what I've been doing every single week in my planning. So yeah, this is, I got a Right Tech fountain pen. These are like Happy Planner stickers. This washi is from TWG Designs. And you'll see, like, this week, I was not really in my planner. I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were camping. And so I just went back and journaled about each day that we were there camping. So I don't mind that white space. And then, yeah, I just use whatever stickers I have. This is another TWG Designs washi tape. She designed this herself, and it's absolutely gorgeous with those pinks. It's my favorite washi. Yeah, and then July. So that's what July looked like. Again, with the highlights page, 1 line a day. Combined my trackers even more. Did my mood and sleep, what I eat in a day, and my workout tracker. And then jumping to August, the last month I was in this. This is what it looked like. And I set aside, I always do my monthly overview and my highlights for sure. And then I set aside some pages for my trackers, but I never did it. So I found that I didn't want to do that anymore. So I just been doing the highlights and the monthly overview and then going straight into my weeklies and dailies. Oh, I love this. This is from a Happy Planner sticker book that Kim at ADH Done sent me, and oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And as you can see, like towards the, like in August, we were super busy. So a lot of my dailies are not super filled in because one, we weren't doing school, you know, and didn't have a whole lot to write down, and we were with family and whatever, spending time together, and it's totally fine. I always just journaled at the end of the day because I really like doing that, decompressing. My 1.5-year-old, she gave me a little design there. Yeah, I've just stayed consistent with the journaling when I wasn't needing to like make a huge to-do list, which was nice. This is a sticky note tracker from Paper Planner Bliss. I love that. And I was using here the Tool Fine Nib pen. I really like that pen. I don't have it right now, it's in my purse, but really enjoyed that. And then this was where I ended August. And then this was just notes pages I used for whatever I needed. If I needed to practice a layout, pen test, all this other stuff, and it was really nice. I did like a Christmas list in there, did some doodles, lots of pen testing. So yeah, that's how my Stalogy turned out. I do have like extra pages in here a little bit, but it wasn't enough for me to have a full month. So it's like, I don't know, like 30 pages, like 20 pages. Anyway, I need like 30 to 40 per month. So it wasn't enough for me to do September. So I set up a new Stalogy for September. If you have any questions, let me know, but I hope you enjoyed that flip. Stay tuned to see my updated planning system video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.